right, so here's the thing. Let's get this thing assembled. That's the only thing left for us to do today. And then we'll have to continue this on the next time I come out here. But got our piston rings to install, bearings to install, pistons onto the connecting rods, and stick them in. Got some nice instructions here. This is 50th thousandths over, okay, to match our 50 thousandths over pistons, bored and honed 50 thousandths over in the cylinder. So we just want to make sure that our rings are correct and that there wasn't a mistake made, right? Good fit. And the ring appears to fit quite nicely with just a little gap right there. Okay, that seems about normal. One of the most nervous parts about dealing with this whole engine thing is the fear that you're gonna drop the crankshaft and bend it, you're gonna drop one of your pistons, chip one of the tips off of it. So it's just, there's so much handling going on with things that you just gotta be so careful in hopes that you hold it firmly. Gap, the oil gap, needs to be installed in this orientation upward. We'll just follow the directions. I found it easier just to put this one on first, and then these guys. FSM real quick and just check to see what they specify as far as the clocking, the orientation of the gaps, as far as a gap being here, here, and here, or whatever. Make sure we get this one on the top. Gar marks on the side of the piston. Hopefully it's not too big a deal, and real tight. So the only one that had specific orientation was, well, two of them. The oil ring, that wavy one, as I showed you, and then that one, that middle one, had a top. The rest of them just could be in any orientation. But all right, let's take a look at the factory service manual and see which orientation they need to be in. So that's basically all it says. This will be the front of the engine. And you've just got a gap there, 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 and there. So kind of in 4 different positions. Do not align the end gaps. You know, these are aftermarket pistons and their connecting rods are, I don't know, the new and improved version where you don't have to heat them up to get them installed. So we're just gonna go with that. Yeah, I mean, I think the factory ones, I don't know if the factory ones actually had these types of snap rings. Actually, I think they did, but there we go. One side's in. Dab of oil here. All around. So these connecting rods are not marked. They're marked, but they don't make any sense. It just says C4 or D4. There's 2 that say C4. Sorry, I don't know. They don't make a lot of sense. C3, B3, B4. Don't know the sequence of those. I'm hoping that it's not critical. Now, what you do need to know is that there's only an oil port on one side. And, so obviously the bearing has to line up with your oil port hole, right? And this nub faces the front side of the engine. The opposite side does not have one of those. Okay, so as long as this is going to the front of the engine, that's going to the front of the engine, and your piston mark is going to the front of the engine, then everything is lined up correctly. Supposing you install it correctly. I mean, I would kind of prefer them to be heat seated, but I'm just gonna go with it. There we go. Those things being properly seated, I would say, is one critical element of this job. If one of those works its way out, total destruction. All right, well, nice and sloppy, nice and loose. Cool, here's one. Okay, they can only go in one way. You can't really mess these up. They have the guide right there, which lines up the oil hole. So we'll just lubricate it up here a little bit. We're finally assembling an engine now. Awesome. Just a wee bit of oil on that crank journal. I don't remember using this tool last time I was putting engines together, so how hard could it be, right? Now there's a top and a bottom. Bottom has these little kind of catch stoppers. Let's lube this guy up. There we go, just about ready to install number one. They encourage you to put some rubber hose tips on here to protect the crank journals from getting damaged. And that's a pretty good idea. Front marks to the front of the engine. There we go. Just kind of had to push. These are some kind of larger rubber hoses, so it's being a little bit of a tight fit to get over the journal there. Okay, we're gonna, same as before. All right, 51 foot-pounds. I don't want the pistons to fall out. I'm gonna rotate this back up horizontal at least. All right, so there we go. Specs are 0.025 to 0.055. Yeah, and it's right in there. It's right in the big green, pretty much. It's right in there, perfect. I'm satisfied with that. 2 to go. Boy, she's like butter, man. Last ones. Dunzo. Oh yeah. Ooh, a little firmer, but that's just what we want. Oh yeah. Oh, jeez. I do this without hurting myself. Guess now's as good a time as any to bust out the crank pulley, huh? Oh yeah. Doesn't get much more awesome than that. 2.4 liters. All right, that's a wrap, my friends. Yeah, if you've been following this project, I appreciate it. And it's been a long going one, hasn't it? Long going, but we're making progress. So next week we'll get the head on and mostly practically get it ready to stick in the truck. So stay tuned.